Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Creative Connect. I know I've been away for a while, but it's okay. We're in a new space, as you can see. I'm your host, Kopano Lokoti, and today is the first episode of my takeover of Showmax's LLB, a show which I was a part of, and I got to work alongside the stars. And today, the first star I'll be chatting to is Miss Thuli Nduvane, who plays Lwazi Koyana.
Hi.
Welcome. Hello, class.
Hello.
How do you do?
I'm good. How are you? I'm so excited to be here.
I'm very good, and I'm excited as well. And I feel like I took a break from my podcast because I booked my little role on the show.
Yeah.
And so I just knew if I was to come back, how was I going to come back and make a splash? And I thought,
this is it.
The few friends I made on set.
Yeah.
So,
this is great. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just going to get started.
Okay.
And the first question I always ask is, how did you know? Oh, my papers. How did you know that you wanted to be an actor, and when did you know this?
I've known for a while. I think I knew on my first day of drama class in high school. I was 15, I was in grade 10, and I walked into Miss Wegley's classroom. Shout out to Miss Wegley, who changed my life. I knew this was it. I was never the kid who was good at maths or science. I was never good at accounting. I was never good at anything else. I just really knew how to speak well.
Yeah.
And I was charismatic.
Yeah.
And so when I walked into that very tiny classroom in grade 10, it was like, it was like coming home after a long day. It was like taking off your jeans after a really long night. And that was it for me. I've never looked back since.
For me, it's the same, but at my school, we didn't have drama. We only had it as an extramural. And my teacher, Mr. King, rest in peace, sir.
R.I.P.
But he was amazing.
Yeah.
And he was my first director that I've ever worked with on stage. It was a musical. So I relate to the whole introduction through school. But for me, funnily enough, I found it through English as we would read like Shakespearean texts and whatever. I was like, this is what I need to do. I mean, apart from watching TV.
Yeah.
And so you're from the Eastern Cape?
I am originally,
Where?
Yes. I'm from PE, from Gqeberha.
How do I say? Gqeberha. And the schools that you attended?
So I was there until I was 10, and then I moved to Joburg. So I grew up in Bloeder Bay. I went to Bloeder Bay Primary, and then came up to Joburg when I was in grade 4.
Okay. And how was your school? How was the transition?
Hectic, man. It was really hectic. I grew up in the Eastern Cape, like in very much a suburban kind of setup. But I grew up playing outside. I grew up not having a phone and gadgets and all of that stuff. I come to Joburg and things are a little different, and everybody's got a phone, and everybody's, got a flip phone. At the time, flip phones were like really in, and my parents didn't believe in any of that stuff because you're not doing that. I remember my first day of my new school at Panorama Primary in Joburg. My mom had cut my hair and I looked like a boy and nobody was nice to me and nobody wanted to play with me. And I was not really great at being a kid. I don't think. Like I just didn't quite fit in. I was bullied a lot. Then I moved from that primary school to Sharon Lee Primary School, and I was there and finished my primary school there, which was great. Again, weird, awkward, trying to figure yourself out. I think just being a preteen and a teen is just awkward years in general. And then I went to a tiny Christian school for high school, and I was there from beginning to end.
And you loved it.
Yeah, I was a big fish in a small pond, I think. It was a very tiny school. And I think for the first time, I was like not the bully. I mean, not being bullied. Yeah.
Did you become bullied?
I wasn't the bully. But I was definitely a lot more like...
You learned how to stand up for yourself.
Yeah. I ended up just knowing how to stand up for myself and knowing how to like speak up for myself. And like, I was not bullied.
Yeah. I went from being at unisex schools to... all of a sudden, mid-year grade 10, I'm at an all-boys school. And I'm gay. And so I just had to learn how to... I became a little bit vicious.
And did you always know? Like when you got into high school that you were gay?
I did know,
Yeah.
but I was in denial,
Uh-huh.
as most of us
As
are.
most,
And
yeah,
I tried
yeah.
to convince myself that I might be bisexual,
Okay.
whatever.
Okay.
But in the end, one of my best friends, actually, she was like, it doesn't matter if you say this to me, as long as you're comfortable with saying it to yourself, about yourself.
Damn.
That's the only way you can go on. Shout out, girl.
Shout
Oh,
out.
yeah, no,
Shout out to good friends.
You know, she is a
Yeah.
really good friend. But then you decided UP, we were just talking now
Yeah.
before we started rolling, you went there for politics.
Yeah.
And so what was the decision in not going to study drama at a traditional university?
It was not my decision. It was my parents. My parents were
Yeah.
like, let's not do that. Let's do something a little bit more. I mean, I'm black. So my parents were like, you want to study drama to be where? To be on Generations? That's not happening. So my parents were just like, I remember I was getting ready for my matric dance. It was like later in the year and we'd already gotten like acceptance letters from varsities and, professional acceptance and all of that stuff. And you had to sign one of the offers. And I was in the chair getting ready for my matric dance. And my dad sent me this long email saying, you know what? And my dad, I think from that until that point had been the most supportive of me going to study drama and like figuring that out. And I don't know, I think my mom got into him and he was just like, actually, let's not do this.
Yeah. Okay. And so you were at UP for how many years?
I was there for my undergrad. For undergrad, yes. I did my undergrad in politics and international relations. I tried to drop out in first year. My parents said, no.
Yeah.
I wrote an email too, strongly worded.
Did you want to switch to drama or you were just not happy with what you were
Either
doing?
way, yeah. I wanted to switch to drama or drop out and go somewhere else and try it again. But I really just did not want to do that degree. I felt nothing for it.
Yeah.
But God was really good because that 3 years breezed past. Like it was a very volatile time. I think it was like the first round of Fees Must Fall.
Yes.
So in my final year, I didn't even write exams. We just had to write essays and get out. They were just like, get out of here.
Right now.
It's too much going on. And it was such a blessing because I wasn't studying that hard. I didn't care that much. So it kind of felt like God was like, get out of here.
Yeah.
You were
literally the same. So I did, I hope you remember, I did journalism.
Yes.
I applied for law and drama.
Yeah.
And then the faculty got full. Then they said, oh, you can't do law because the faculty's full. So I thought, okay, this is my chance to study drama. My mom was like, no. So then, long story short, I got into journalism. I also wanted to switch starting second semester of my first year. I was like, no. But then I kind of became good at it.
Yeah.
And I saw that I could use it to be in this space, which this is what we're doing now. So we're similar there. But then, did you try and immerse yourself in the space by doing extramural activities? And how long did it take for you to, as you were doing the work building up, how long did it take you to think of yourself as not only an actor, but also a good one?
Jeez. I didn't immerse myself in varsity as, like I wasn't auditioning for stuff. I don't actually even know if you could audition for stuff if you weren't a drama student. I didn't like look into it like that. I think my heart was just like, if I'm not going to do it fully, I don't want to do it at all.
Okay.
I don't want to give myself this tester of like being in a campus production and then I need to go back to, learning
politics, whatever.
Voting styles in different nations. I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
I watched as many plays as I could. I had a friend in Res who was a drama student as well. So we would go watch her shows often. My best friend and I would like go to the Museum at UP and we would just like sit on the stage. Like sometimes it would be open and he would take me there on really, really hard days. And we would just sit on the stage and just talk, I had another friend of mine who also loved playing the piano. We'd also go there where he just sit behind the piano chair and kind of play the piano. And I just sit on stage and look into the auditorium and just like, oh, it's going to happen. It'll happen. It felt like a little movie. And here we are now. I think on how long it took me to feel like an actor, it took me a while. It took me a while to like confidently use the word artist, to use the word actor, because I felt like I was out of it for so long and I felt like I couldn't actually claim that word, So it took me a while. I still struggle. I'm still like, I act sometimes when somebody wants to pay me to do that.
But has there been like an inkling of the idea that I do this, and you're able to track your progress?
Yeah, absolutely. I do a little bit of theater, which is great because it helps me like stay connected. You know, when the TV and the film stuff isn't quite popping, I always have the theater to run to. No one's gonna tell me I'm too big, I'm too small, I'm too ugly for the roles that I, you know.
They can never say you're too ugly for a role.
I mean, you know.
Literally, if they're talking on the internet, they're talking about, oh, is that Lwazi pre? And I'll tell you this: the day before my first day on set, I got the call sheet. So I was like, oh, so seeing all the names, and I'm googling the names that I didn't know at the time. So I was googling it. I was like, oh, she's so pretty. She's so pretty. She's so pretty.
Thank you.
But as a theatre trained actor, because you went to the Market Theatre Lab Foundation Lab, what can you say as someone who's gotten, not that you study drama at a university, but you know somewhere along the lines of what happens there, and being at an academic institution and being at a space like the Market Lab, what can you say apart from the fact you get a degree and not at the other?
Sure.
What do you think are the biggest differences in what they have to offer?
The biggest differences is at the Market, you start on stage. You start on stage, you audition to get in. I think a lot of institutions do that. Some don't, but you start on stage and work your way out of it. You know, like you start on stage and then work outside, from the core to the outside. There isn't as much of a focus on the theory. There isn't as much of a focus on like the theoretical stuff that lives in our minds, that lives in concept. We're dealing with what is happening on stage actively. Our lecturers and trainers are all actively practicing art. They're not just academics. You're seeing them on TV, you're seeing them on stage, you're seeing them being actual practitioners. And at the time, I think I felt like, oh, like we're not as great as you know, Wits School of Arts or UP or UCT. But at the end of it, when I look at like what kind of graduates the Market produces versus some of the more traditional institutions, there is like no comparison, you know? Like the kids from the Market they're actors. You know, name them. Name them. No, like I'm not even talking about names. I'm talking about graduates. I worked as an agent for a couple of years. I'm sure you know that. And we would go and watch the showcases at the end of the year.
To scout,
For me, for the agency I worked for, there was no comparison for me. I think the way that we are trained at the Market puts craft above everything else. At the end of the day, if I need to be standing on stage and showing you who I am, I need to be able to show up. You know, the theory is important. It's amazing to know the theoretical stuff. It's amazing to know the academia of it. And I so advise people to go to school, whatever kind of institution you can afford to go to. I advise people to go there. But for me, I think years later, in retrospect, I'm like so grateful for my training and so grateful that at any time of the day, with my eyes closed, I know I can stand on a stage with anyone who's graduated from anywhere and hold my own because of that training.
Yes. Yeah. I agree. I'm on the same wavelength because I didn't study drama at a traditional university. But for me, I was able to immerse myself in a lot of university productions, which tends to happen among most people who don't have the opportunity to go study. But also the greatest trick I learned in terms of, you can train yourself through watching other actors. That's something I really, really got to learn. And also being on the set of LLB, I was able to see, okay, this is what happens. I had been on a set before, but never like hands-on like that.
And like every day.
But then you spoke about the emphasis on stage work, and that's your foundation. Your transition to the screen how was that, navigating that?
I'm still transitioning, to be honest with you. I wouldn't even say like I fully transitioned and I'm now on the other side, whatever that means, whatever that looks like. Because I don't think I'll ever stop doing theater. I don't think it needs to be this or that. But yeah, it was a very awkward one. Theater teaches us to suspend our disbelief, you know, TV is like what I see is what it is. You know, on stage I can play whatever character I want to play. I can play, a slay queen. I can play a businesswoman. I can play a man. I can play 85. I can play 13, and you will believe it because we're here in the land of make believe. You're in a theater. You are meant to suspend your disbelief. Whereas on TV, it's like if you don't look that way, then you can't play that thing. And I don't believe that. That's just not how I approach stuff, you know. So it was very difficult, you know, like getting into the world of like needing to read a brief and go like, would they see me in this role? Do they see me playing this role? Because apparently slay queens don't look like me, which is strange because they do. You know, when I was much younger, in my early 20s, just having graduated, I think I was 22, my first agent said, you're never going to play roles, the 22-year-old roles. You just look much older. Your body, your body. Yeah, you just, so don't get offended if you get the mama briefs and the older ladies, because you just don't look. And I'm like, what do you mean I don't look 22? I literally am, first of all. Secondly, I'm like, step outside your door and look at what 22-year-olds look like. Really, they have real bodies, they have bigger bodies, smaller bodies, they're petite, diverse bodies. So I never really understood that. And so that's always been quite a transition for me to like step into a world where I had all these limitations and I can't play that role because I don't look like I would.
Yeah. As you know, that's been my current thing with on the age thing. They always say, no, because of your height and also your body, you don't look like a 25-year-old.
Yeah. But I am.
I
literally am.
Like,
I'm do you want my ID?
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally 25.
I mean, body sure, height sure, but face is not giving.
Yeah.
And I've met 30-something-year-olds who look younger than
exactly.
me. So
exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But let's step away from the questions now. We're gonna do our first game.
I love games.
Very simple. Okay. I first realized that I'm too old for blank.
I first realized I'm too old for... Whatever.
For me, it's modern day slang.
To keep up with trends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like what I like. I wear what I wear. Right now, it's like Y2K fashion. First of all, Y2K fashion wasn't made for girls with bodies like mine.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't wear a mini skirt as thick as a belt. I can't. It's just not...
I spice.
It's just not. Like, I'm just not.
I be talking to friends of mine who are like round about my brother's age. They're like 19, 20. And one day we were just talking and then it was like a back and forth, not an argument, just a back and forth. And then he said, no, wait, let me cook. Why did I think that he actually wanted to go and cook? So
you said, "Oh, you want to go to the kitchen?"
I was like, "Okay,
you want to get a pot
when you're done." It's like, no, like.
Oh no!
Then he explained that I take all the ingredients and
I'm cooking.
I was just like, I'm only 25. Why is this happening?
That is hilarious.
But, yeah,
I'm not too bad with that. My brother is 21, so yeah, him and my cousin they keep me on my toes with that.
Yeah, no. Yeah. But you see, with my little brother, it was just a rule at home that we speak like. We don't use slang.
Like normal people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. My friends think that I'm weird because I eat blank and blank.
Kakiso was just telling me about how I'm definitely a sociopath because I don't put sugar in my putu. So, what do you mean, why not?
But it's a Xhosa thing, isn't it?
It is a Xhosa thing.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be with sugar.
Yeah,
if you put putu with sugar in your putu, we cannot be friends. We are done.
You cannot eat it without it.
No chaser, no nothing. If you're eating a sour milk based dish, you know what you're getting yourself into. Why are you putting sugar in that?
That's with Masi, right? And
yes.
You see, I hate that.
Okay.
I literally hate that.
No, I love it.
No.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I'm so Xhosa. I made him poroko yesterday.
They tried to get my brother onto it when he was younger, and it was a thing of, if we want him to do something, Kopano should do it. It was like, oh, look, he's going to eat it. And then I actually took a spoon and I vomited. And so it's like, no, we don't do it.
So yeah, it's more the trauma. It's more the trauma, yeah.
We don't eat it.
It's so good.
No, child. Oh, sorry. No. The biggest misconception about me is blank.
That I am like this confident girl, got it together, don't talk to me, a little unapproachable, a little like, yes, Jayla, huge misconception about me.
Yeah, I with the whole not approachable, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that because
Yeah.
you're pretty much
But
approachable.
the two can be very closely linked. People can assume because I'm
You're
super confident and
yeah.
whatever. Yeah, don't even.
Are you
No.
that confident, or you? It's just how you present, basically.
It's just how I present. It's really just how I present. And also, I really love people. So I speak to people well because I really enjoy speaking to people. So a lot of my confidence is just, let me not say confidence, a lot of my comfort around people is because I really love people. It's not even confidence. It's not even like...
It's intrigue.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
I shouldn't share this on Creative Connect because it's totally TMI, but...
Oh my word. What? I don't have anything TMI to share on. It probably will come out though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will definitely say something I'm not supposed to say.
Blank is the song I'm currently obsessed with.
Thames Burning. I would listen to it just before I came here.
Yeah. For me, it's on an international basis. It's Espresso. Well, her entire album, Sabrina Carpenter. So please, Espresso, Bad Cam Taste, and then on a more not even local, just underground. There's this artist named Dekachi. He has these two amazing songs. Well, they're not his only songs. They're called Scared to Death and Addicted to the Rush. Please do have a listen. They're amazing. I'll send you the link.
Please do.
Yeah.
I don't listen to new music, so send it to me. No.
I don't. Only the people that I keep up with.
Yeah.
So whenever Nikki drops.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like Thames is, I guess, relatively new.
Yeah.
Relatively.
She's been in the game for a while, but yeah, as opposed to the veterans.
As opposed to who I listen to.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
My proudest moment in life was blank.
My proudest moment. Proudest.
Or should we cap it to this year?
Great. My proudest moment this year. Just taking the leap and doing the freelancing thing for real. For real. It's my proudest thing.
Yo.
We'll unpack it. But yeah. We'll
talk. Please, if I forget, do remind me. But, my favorite accent to do is what?
Oh my word. I love to do a colored accent, but I need to not do it because it's actually offensive. So I shouldn't do it. I probably shouldn't even have said that.
Yeah. You know what? I am on the same wavelength, but personally, because I'm from Kimberley, in the Northern Cape. It's a very diverse, multicultural space.
Sure.
My mom's father's family are colored people.
Sure.
I went to primary school in a colored community, and because I wanted to fit in so bad, I used to speak with a colored accent all the time until I got to high school. Then they said to me,
Don't do that. No, we don't do that.
But now I recently dropped a skit where I was doing a colored accent, and then people are loving it. So I'm okay, is it if it's performative, will it be more acceptable? Or if it's in my everyday life?
Yeah.
But then the weird thing is, all my colored friends don't have a problem with it.
Sure.
Because they understand where I come from.
Sure, they know they know the heart behind it.
Most people just don't.
Yeah, no, I would rather just stay away in public spaces.
Yeah.
I do it with my friends all the time, and it's just something that we just slip into it.
Yes. That's me with the American accent with a few of my friends. And I mean, you've heard on the voice notes. I definitely do it. My favorite color is blank.
Right now it changes seasonally, but right now my favorite color is yellow. It's been yellow for a while. Like a nice deep mustardy kind of yellow. Yeah.
For me, it's purple, as you can
see. Purple I used to be a purple, I was a purple baby growing up, yeah.
But my favorite color to wear, although the evidence is not apparent today, is black.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, because I just look good on black,
Same.
Blank is something I should have known earlier on in my life, but I only recently discovered what it is.
Earlier in my life, my goodness. Things and people don't stick around forever. Nothing lasts forever. I wish I knew that earlier. Yeah.
This year, for me, well, last year, but mainly this year, I really learned that.
Yeah.
And the hard way, but I'm just like grateful that I learned it eventually.
Yeah.
Back to you. And now we're going to talk about you being the actron. Can you take me through LLB? How, when did the brief come to you? Was it something that you were excited about? And take me through the audition process.
Yeah. Honestly, at the time when the LLB brief came, it was a time where I was auditioning like really viciously because, like I said earlier, I just taken this leap of fully freelancing and saying like, I'm going to give acting a full shot this year. So I was auditioning pretty aggressively. Like everything that my agent sent me, I would go to. And so LLB was just one of those things. You know, I read it. I was like, cool. The picture references on the thing that we sent looked nothing like me. It was Meghan Markle, I think. She was the picture reference for Lwazi. And I was like,
oh, Meghan Markle's role on Suits.
Yes. Well, they just had her pictures on the Lwazi slide. And I think my time as an agent taught me that like the picture reference is not always what they're looking for. I think sometimes they just want to put pictures there and want to give you an idea of how to dress or like who we had in mind or like the vibe we had in mind. But I've never been the kind of actor that is discouraged by the picture references used in a brief because I've spent enough time behind the scenes learning that, oh, they said they want this girl and then that girl was cast, you know? So I'm always ready to convince you that I'm the one that you're looking for. Yeah. So yeah, it wasn't a self-tape. It was a physical audition at Sasani. And my friend John, shout out to John, helps me with every tape and every audition. And this wasn't a tape, but I still had him come over so we could just run the lines. Figure out who Lwazi is, where I want to pitch her, where I want to place her. And went into Sasani Studios. I lotioned my feet a little bit too much, so I was slipping in my heels. So when I got inside, I was the girl, can I take my shoes off for this? Because like I can't stand. And she's like, no, no. I said, oh, all right then. So I put my shoes on and I just did it.
Did you dress like professionally? Like,
yeah. Not necessarily like a lawyer. I just had like a black turtleneck dress that I was wearing. I felt okay about it. I wasn't feeling like, oh my gosh, this is it. No special feelings, no fireworks about it.
It was just another audition.
Yeah, it was just another audition.
You forget about it, and if it comes, until it comes back. Yeah,
literally. Though I had a feeling that I booked it because there was a shortlist that had come out and was like, these people are requested for chemistry tests. Please let them know to come in at this time. The people whose names are highlighted. So my name was on the list, but it's not highlighted. And I think it was me and somebody else. And I was like, they don't want to see me. Called my agent. I said, are you sure they want to see me? And Ginebe was like, they loved what you had. We don't need to see you again. When my agent told me that, I was like, okay, I think I got this. I think I got this.
And what was the first feeling? It was like, my gosh, I'm going to be on Showman, or I'm going to be in a series where I'm going to be starring across multiple episodes.
At the risk of sounding arrogant, it just felt like it was about time. So I can't say like, oh my word, I jumped out of my skin, I cried, I shouted from the rooftops. Of course I was excited about it, but there was just something about how and when this character found me, this project found me, that it just felt like it was about time. Yeah. I think I'd been feeling like I'd been sitting on a shelf for the longest time, and I'm so ready for this thing to happen for me. I've always known, and I still know, that it's just a matter of time. Yeah. And even though LLB has happened, I'm still in some kind of a waiting room. I'm still in some kind of this is amazing, and I'm so alive and grateful to be here, but I know there's so much more to accomplish. I know there are so many more roles. I know there are so many more leads. I know there's so much more to do. And it just felt like it was about time.
And Masa Sampangeni always says, when you're waiting and waiting and waiting, be ready so that when it does come, you are ready? Were
Yeah.
you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lwazi found me ready. And I remember my sister has, there's a beautiful like quote that I had stolen from one of her interviews where she was talking about exactly that. Like, we often wait for the role that will catapult us into stardom, you know, and we forget that like the roles that are coming must find us ready, unmarred by imposter syndrome and feeling like we're not enough for this thing. And so the thing that we are doing in the waiting is important.
Yeah.
How am I waiting? What is my posture
Yeah.
in the waiting? You know, I've been waiting for so long that I get new revelations about my waiting every other 2 weeks. But the current revelation I'm living in is like just praising God in the wait, you know. Like, I'm really, really, really so resolute that, and I know that the things I'm praying for now are going to turn into praise and are going to turn into the hallelujahs and are going to turn into, God, thank you, finally, you've made this happen for me. But I need to be very careful about how I'm waiting and what my posture is and what is coming out of my mouth in the waiting season. What am I saying about myself, about my talent, about this industry? So yeah, I'm being really mindful in this waiting period. Yeah.
While prepping for the character, were there any doubts you had about playing Lwazi, and how did you overcome them? I don't think, since you said now that.
No, I did.
Really?
I did. Before we started shooting, I sat down with our performance coach, and I said to him, I do not want to play a caricature. I don't want to play the chubby girl at the office who's always gossiping. I don't want to play the sidekick to the lead girl who's just always yapping in the office. Like, I don't want to play that. Like, I don't want to play the stereotype. Like, how can we make Lwazi human? How can we make her a real person who's well-rounded and well-spoken and intelligent and has personality and life? How do we make her more than just a caricature?
Do you feel like she was written like that?
Yes, I do. No, not as a caricature. I think she was written as a whole person. I think it is, though, a huge part of how I play that is my choice. So depending on the choices I made, it could have gone either way, I feel.
Okay. And when you were reading the scripts, did you first read them as Thuli, or was there a time where you forgot and you read them as Lwazi?
No, I was always reading as Thuli.
Yeah.
I always do. And I have to constantly remind myself that, like, no, it's not me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I read them as Thuli, but it was amazing just to find similarities in the dialogue with Thuli. You know, Lwazi is an extremely passionate person. You know, we see in the second block of it, she takes on all of these cases where she's just defending people and like wanting people to have dignity and wanting people to have a good quality of life, you know. But there's so much about Lwazi that I'm just like, girl, like you being pushed around again.
Yeah.
That's not me.
Yeah.
So I always read as Thuli and always would need to reel myself back in and remind myself that that's not me. Yeah.
Okay. And as you were developing Lwazi, were there any personality traits that reminded you of old habits that you might have had when you were younger? Whether you like them or not, it just was there anything?
Not necessarily old stuff. No, not necessarily. Habits. Yeah. Lwazi is very chatty with Fez, you know, and I wouldn't say she's a gossip, you know. It's always Fez bringing her the stuff,
gossip, yes,
you know.
yes.
But I think we can always all be mindful of not being too liberal with how we speak about people.
Yes.
So I think all of us have been in situations like that. I think I have too, in situations where I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you regarding your performance. I mean, I don't know if I should be saying this, but I'm going to say it as well. While we were on the show, we were told language. It needed to be.
Sure.
Now, don't you feel like to some degree that's a hindrance on your performance as, I mean, not you, but just like as an actor, could that be like a hindrance? Because I know of some people who vernac may not necessarily
Be their strong point.
But then they're like, oh no, you need to speak 70% of the time. Because in my experience of you, I just saw you being Lwazi, being English with a little bit of Xhosa.
Sure.
But now that I'm watching the show, I just saw, oh, you spoke a lot
Quite a
more
lot,
Xhosa.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, how what do you think about that?
I've never thought about it as a hindrance. I've always been, I think maybe also because of my training at the market, which is a quintessentially black space. Like it's a very, very, very black space. Not that the students aren't diverse or the staff isn't, but it's very, the lab is very intentional about who we are as a people and how we tell stories.
Yes.
So I've always just been of the belief that I believe black actors are stronger in their mother tongues. I do. I think when we have a good grasp on our languages, when we make the choice to delve deeper into it, to learn more, to learn pronunciations more, to know meanings more, to think more in our languages, I think we're stronger in our mother tongues. And that's been my experience of a lot of like actors when I watch them. And I maybe I feel that way more theatrically than I do. No, across the board, both TV and film, I feel that way. I've never thought of performing Xhosa as a hindrance or as a disadvantage. Of course it will be if my mother tongue is not strong. And so I've just, with Lwazi, made the effort to find the Xhosa words. I sat with my Xhosa English dictionary. I called my mom. I called my friends. I would make the effort to make sure that this is it landing? Is it sounding correct? Because my Xhosa has been compromised from private schools and Model C schools and white friends and just the influence of the world that I grew up in. I'm just learning slowly, bit by bit, project by project, to take that power back, to reroute myself, to call up someone and say, hey, I need help. I don't know how to say this and I don't know how to do this. So no, I don't think it's a hindrance.
For me, I don't think it is, but the kind of language I speak, so I speak Setswana, but it's very much Kimberley infused with Afrikaans. And not a lot of people understand. So I found, not with LLB, because with LLB I just made a choice to just speak English. Also because I didn't speak that much. The few times I just did English. But there was another show that I was shooting on, and the script supervisor came to me. She's like, you know the lines clearly, but I just need you to translate them into like on this. So I prepped it like 60% English, 40% Setswana. And so she was like, can you flip it the other way? So I literally had to call my mom and say, what is this? Because most of the time when you find, you go to these private schools, somewhere, somehow, you'll find how to write and whatever. But for me, it was just never a thing. The rule was at home, when you're at school, speak English, whatever. But when you're in my house, you're going to speak Setswana.
I wish I had that.
For my mom really emphasized on it. So, but when I do think, I think in English.
In English,
But when I speak to myself, like when you reprimand yourself and practicing your interviews, I'm always in Setswana and Afrikaans. So I'm just like,
oh, wow.
I need to, because it's part of, like, people from Kimberley, honestly, it's just who we are.
Interesting.
So I'm just trying to find, for me, the balance, because I feel more comfortably with English. I express myself more eloquently. But speaking to that show, as I was doing it, like, and the fact that we did like 6 takes. So I started to wonder, am I the problem? So I started to, I was like, no, you're doing great. It's just that. Then I realized, it's single cam. That's why it's, So, but in the end, I was like, I can actually kind of do this. Just for the next one, more prep. So, and always, I'd say rather always prep more for vernac.
Sure.
And then if you need to drop the vernac, then cool, you can just go the English. But watching the show play out now on Showmax, are there any aspects of the character that you didn't see in your preparation that are now apparent?
Yeah, I didn't read that Lwazi was such a puppy to Ayanda. I didn't read it. Shooting it, for me, my motivation was loyalty. My motivation was, Lwazi truly believes that Ayanda is going to make senior partner. And she's a ride or die. Whatever you need, I'm there. We're going to do it. I at the time, I didn't read it as that. Watching it back now, I'm like, okay.
To your point on Ayanda's ride or die with the whole senior partner thing, I also saw that while we were shooting.
Yeah.
But then obviously I wasn't there for all the scenes
Sure.
that were being shot. So then I saw the one where, I don't know, were you talking to Fez or James? And you're like, let's be honest, the girl's not going to make senior partner. I was like,
no. That was to Sam because she was trying to make it seem like I don't really believe that Ayanda's going to make senior partner. Let me help you guys on your case so I could get information. I was fishing out information.
Okay.
Oh no. Lwazi would never say that and mean that.
Yeah,
no.
I don't know. Okay, maybe I just missed that.
Yeah,
cool. No, thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah.
Cool. And then, is Lwazi someone Thuli can be friends with in real life?
100%. Lwazi is richer than Thuli, so she would be a great friend because she would always buy me drinks and take me out for lunch and stuff. Lwazi is so intelligent. Like, Lwazi is on it, you know. She's well-read. She knows what's up. She always has thoughts and opinions about things. And she is fiercely loyal, which is something I am as a person, you know. So I think we would get along really, really well.
And as long as that loyalty is reciprocal.
Sure.
Sure. Mention one thing you believe makes Lwazi both likable and unlikable.
Exactly that. The loyalty. I think she will do anything for Ayanda, and I think that might annoy people. You know. I think she just really, truly believes in her friend. But I think also Lwazi is not dumb, right? Like, her best friend's dad owns this firm. Her best friend is on her way up to senior partner. And in every single interaction, Lwazi is always saying, okay, I'll do this for you if you do this for me. Once you get this, I need that. So Lwazi is really strategic in how she ride or dies. She doesn't just do it blindly.
It's somewhat strategic.
It's somewhat strategic.
You become senior partner, you make me a senior associate.
Exactly.
Something like
Exactly.
I think she's a junior associate.
Yeah, she's a junior associate. So she even says, when you move into Trevor's office, I get your office. And Ayanda's office is great. Lwazi's office ain't got no windows. She needs windows. You know? So I think it's that loyalty. It's people, it will annoy some people, and for other people, they will be able to relate with it.
Are there any characteristics or personality traits of Lwazi that you wish you had that you might not?
Yeah, character traits, not necessarily that I can think of right now, but in terms of Lwazi's life, like, I wish, like, the acting is great. I love acting, but I really wish I was just like called to do something more structured. Like Lwazi's life is structured. You go to law school, you do your articles, you become a candidate attorney, a junior associate. You know, like, her life is kind of mapped out that way. You know, I think also we find out later in the series, Lwazi is like really involved at home and really provides for her family.
Is that the explanation for why she lives with Ayanda, per se?
I don't actually know why she lives with Ayanda, to be honest with you. I think Ayanda's house was just huge and she was lonely after she divorced Trevor. And Lwazi was looking for a place and she was like, yeah, I'll live with you. I didn't even create a backstory for that, and it wasn't explained in the process. But you always need to fill in the blanks as an actor when things aren't put in for you. But I truly believe that Ayanda and Lwazi live together because they just get along that well.
Has being on LLB and Lobola Man brought new attention to your life and career?
That is an interesting question. I saw that question. And I was thinking about it. Like, I wouldn't say attention. I would say it's brought about different interactions. Even people I knew before doing these projects, like people just interact with you differently. People who are not obviously in my immediate space, they have a certain perception of what things are or what things are looking like for me right now. There's a newfound like, okay, so you're really an actor. You know how Black people are and our families are like, it's not real until we see you on Netflix or Showmax. It used to be generations, but now, you know. So it's just brought about different energies in how people interact with me. I wouldn't say, for the most part. For the most part. The stuff that isn't good is irrelevant.
And what's the feedback been?
It's been good. Look, the best part about me is my community. And so my community has been insane with Lobola Man, which I felt was like, guys, I'm only in 3 scenes of the movie. They're like, yeah, but you are in 3 scenes of the movie, you know? And like, no, it's not that big. And they're like, you're on Netflix for the first time. This is never going to happen again. You're never going to be on Netflix for the first time again. And it is just the beginning. It's just the first thing you've done. You know, when our achievements look different to other people's, it's very easy for us to compare. It's very easy for me to stand next to Kopano and say, yeah, but he's got a whole podcast and I'm just talking about having a podcast, you know? Like he's got a whole podcast and I just have a mic, you know? And it's like, yeah, but I didn't have a mic yesterday and I'm starting now, you know? So Lobola Man was huge for me because of the fanning of my flames that my community did. My friends and family made me feel like I was on top of the world. Like I wrote, directed, led the film. Like I did everything, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just the kind of community that I belong to, man. Like my people are those people. And I mean, with LLB, it's been even crazier because I've never been like a regular on a series. I've never really done TV like that. I've only done 2 films. Well, Lobola Man and the short film. So this was my first TV thing. Literally gonna be on your screens for 3 months. That's a huge thing for my family.
And on the streaming platform
forever. And on a streaming platform forever. And that's a huge thing for my family who... My parents in particular, who have needed to like defend my choices to family, who have needed to, I mean, I think there's a lot that we sacrifice on this route in creativity. We sacrifice respect of our family and our peers, you know, and in all of that sacrifice, like my parents have always reminded me that there is so much integrity in the things that I'm doing, and there's so much, and they will always elevate my wins. My parents are just those types of people who, regardless of what people are saying or what people's thoughts are, they're gonna brag about their child. You know? So with LLB, it's been insane. I think even my name in the opening credits for me
was like, wow.
That was the win for me. That was the win for me. Like, and I watch it every week and I watch those titles. I watch that title sequence and I'm like, it doesn't get old. It doesn't get old.
I mean, I'm not you, but when I first saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, it's actually, because I'm a new fan of your work. So I'm just like, oh my goodness.
It's happening.
Yeah. But I'm on the same with the whole, when you said, oh, it's only 3 scenes. Like when I made the announcement about LLB and all of that, my community, they were also like, oh, this is your big break. And I'm like, I just walk around the building, but I was like, still, they chose you to walk around. So I was like, yes.
And you were on that set every day with those actors every day.
So I understand. But with my parents, it's not a defending thing. I think my mom really was just like you do you, and we'll try and support you as best you can. I know my mom wishes I followed the corporate route because she really, really wanted me. She's like, you can be a director, you can be a writer, be behind the scenes.
I think they all do. No, they all do because they just want us to be okay. They want us to be stable. They want us to like be able to start our lives. They mean well.
But then I said to her, my dear, I think she's slowly accepting that.
But it's not happening.
It is what it is. Like now she got Showmax for the first time at the house because she has to watch. We're going to go to our second round of questions. So
another game?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah, not questions, game. I'm going to time you.
Okay.
So I said to you, I want to test how quick you can be. We're going to play... Name them. I literally
Name them.
Yeah,
I love that.
I watch. I got it from Real Housewives.
Of course, Beverly Hills. Sutton. Name them.
Name them. So the alphabet game. Name them.
Okay.
So we're gonna go through the alphabet.
Okay.
And with each letter, you're gonna have to name an actor with that first name. So and let's see if you can get it under a minute or within a minute.
Any actors, theatrical, American, South African.
But the contention is they got to be like a little bit popular.
Oh my word!
Yeah.
I'm a theater baby. I know actors who are not popular, who are real actors.
Watch movies.
Oh my word! Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay.
And go. A.
Amahle Khumalo.
B.
Bonko Koza.
C.
Chris Hemsworth.
D.
Denzel Washington.
E.
Evelyn Lozada is a reality star. Eve.
F.
Freeman / Morgan.
What's A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
G. Pass.
H.
Harry Styles.
I. J.
Pass. J. Jack Sparrow is a character. Johnny Depp. K. Kim Kardashian is not an actor, but she's acted.
She is an actress.
She's acted.
What's after K?
L. Liam Hemsworth.
N.
Nia Long.
O.
Oprah Winfrey.
P.
Peter
who?
Pan.
Peter Dinklage.
Yes.
What's after P? I'm bad.
Element P. Q. Damn.
R.
Richford.
S.
Pass.
T.
Thuli Nduvane.
T. U. V.
U. Upile.
V.
Vusi Nkwenkwezi.
What's after V? Oh goodness. V. W.
W. Winona Ryder.
X.
Lisa. No.
That's a surname. I'll take it.
No, that's Zolisa. Zolisa is my Z.
Okay.
Zolisa Paluva. Yes, I mixed the Z's and the X. Sorry. I know his name. I'm sorry.
T-U-X.
Y. Yonda Thomas.
Okay. Oh, cool. How do you think you did?
Terribly.
I mean, in terms of minutes.
Terribly.
2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay, that's bad.
With the I don't know. I wanted to blurt out Ian McKellen.
I don't know who that is.
Truly.
No.
So you're a theater baby. He played Magneto in the X-Men films. He's like
look, is he white?
Yeah.
If it's not black, I don't care. Wow. Yeah.
Have you always been like that?
No, it's a new thing. Even with the content I watch, like a lot of stuff that's like popular and popping right now, like I struggle to get into it. Like that's just, I need to care. I need to care about the characters. I need to care about the world. I need to either see myself or relate in some kind of way. And when I'm not factored into this image, I struggle to care. I struggle to buy into the fantasy. Goodness. Yeah, it's a very new thing. It's a very new thing. If you look at the things I watch, I struggle to care. Things that are like, this is the best thing in cinematic history. I'm like, okay, are there any black people? Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're wrapping up.
Yeah.
How did you navigate sharing aspects of your life, your personal life, on social media? And is there any particular reason why you do this, or you just do it? So I mean, I watch your stories. You'll be watching Love Island, something of the
Love is Blind, Love Island. Okay, first of all, I love trash TV. I just love reality TV, and I love to like talk about it. And a lot of my friends don't watch trash TV, so my stories are my safe place, my little corner of the internet where I get to unpack.
Yes.
I think I use social media and share as much of my life as people do on social media. I really enjoy social media. I really enjoy being able to connect, with people that I ordinarily would never have crossed paths with. I love the community that it fosters. I love social media. So I share things I want to share. I don't share things I don't want to share. It's a highlight reel. I use it just like everybody else. If something is good and I want to celebrate it and I want to share it, I do. If I don't, I don't.
I love reality TV too, but I feel like with me, it's just Real Housewives. Only now recently have I pivoted to other things. On Showmax, I was watching Beulah, Queen's Funny Cup.
Okay.
It's about the drag community.
Oh,
in
nice. I
Cape
think
Town.
I've seen that. I just haven't watched. I've seen a trailer, but I haven't seen it. Yeah.
So
Is it
nice.
good?
Yeah, it is. And I'm so excited that Beverly Hills and Potomac are
coming back.
Potomac
Yes.
is already back. And by
Yes,
the time
I'm
this
waiting.
comes out,
I'm waiting for the episodes
For a
to
few
pile
episodes,
up. Yeah.
I don't like the fact that Giselle and Wendy have made up. I'm just like,
I'm also not sure how I feel
it's so
about
fake.
that.
And I'm like, how is your friendship with Candace going to continue? And yes, I understand that you can be friends with other people, but what Giselle did was pretty bad.
Pretty hectic.
I'm not a Giselle
Me
fan.
too. Me too.
At all.
Me too. Me too.
If you see this, Giselle, I don't like
Sorry.
her. I don't like her. Working as an actor's agent, in any way, did that help you become a better actor, or did it just teach you? I remember we spoke and you said it taught you a lot of patience.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else did you learn?
It absolutely made me a better actor. My time, I call it my time on the bench. Like I was definitely sitting on the bench watching the game happen right in front of me.
Yeah.
It made me a better actor because it made me like just have more compassion for my agent or whoever is pulling together to make this thing happen for me. It taught me that like everybody can't believe in the dream except me as the actor. You know, I can't play in an arena where everybody has shown up for the party and I haven't shown up for myself. So it's taught me like to be mindful of how my headshot's looking, you know, how am I showing up in audition rooms? How efficient am I in submitting my self-tapes? Do I read instructions? Do I label my tapes correctly? Do I follow the instructions? Do I make my agent's job hard, you know, when it's time to submit my tape? So at an administrative level, it just made me a little bit more thorough in the attention I put on my work.
Yeah.
I think also I spent a lot of time learning and watching self-tapes from my actors that would, you know, submit, and I'd be like, oh, I like that choice, or oh, why would you make that choice? Oh, wow, how you've interpreted that. A lot of my actors just inspired me, like in terms of like how they approached self-tapes. Like I had an actor who never had a reader. He didn't like to work with readers. And he was so amazing at turning his dialogue into monologue in a way that makes you feel like somebody is still existing on the other side of the line, but he completely shines. Wow. I had another actor who just mastered the recording thing, you know, the thing where you record your voice and you time your responses and you do a self-tape in that way. Like I had an actor who mastered that thing. And I was like, good, I could never, I can't do that without a reader. And made it feel and seem so natural. So I learned so much. I think that particular group of actors I worked with are really incredible. Like the actors that this agency represents are, for me, like there, you know? Yeah. So yeah, it was amazing. Yeah. It was amazing.
We're running out of time, so I'm just going to leave out a few questions.
Cool.
But when we were on set, I shared with you that I am having a difficult time with my age because of expectations I set for myself. And you gave me the best advice actually this year. You said to me, write a letter to your 30-year-old self. Things you wish you achieved, how you're feeling right now, everything you want for your career, your personal life. And it was a lengthy letter.
Did you do it?
I did.
Yeah.
I didn't do it immediately after my birthday. I think I did like a month after.
Also, you turned 25 while we were shooting.
Yeah.
Yes.
So actually, the episode that came out today, when we were in the boardroom.
Yeah.
We shot that on my birthday.
Yes, I remember that. So, yes.
I wrote it and I shed a tear, and I don't cry. I just don't like to cry, but I shed a tear. I was like, but I feel like the one thing I shared to myself, with all these things that you hope to happen, I hope that you're happy if they do happen, even if they don't happen. And I hope you found a way to deal with what your life will be at that point in time. But I do hope it'll be better. And where did you get that piece of advice? Was it something that you just came up with? And why is personal reflection so important to you, not only as an actor, but as a person?
Busim Jali taught me that. Busim Jali is an actor I interacted with at my last job. I think it was also around my 25th birthday, actually, is when I met her. And we'd met at an agency get together, and I think she had just turned 30. something like that. Was years ago. And she told me that she'd written this letter to herself, you know? And I was like, wow, that's such a great idea. And she really just went into like where she thought she would be at 30 and having to sit with the sense of accomplishment or even the disappointment that I didn't quite become the things that I thought I would become by this age. So that was, shout out to Busi. She's the one who gave me that tool. And I am yet to open my letter as well next year. I'm 30 next year. That's crazy. But yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to kind of reflect on like where I was at 25.
Yeah.
And where I will be. I haven't touched it since. I scheduled it as an email.
Okay.
So the email will come through at midnight.
Oh,
on your my birthday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I wrote it as a physical letter. I put it away.
You see, I'm not good at that. I don't. This thing
write.
is just not my thing. Also, like I could lose it. I could move house. I lose things very, very easily. Yeah.
Okay. There's so much I wanted to talk about, but with the freelancing thing, were you scared to really get into it? Because it comes with a lot of uncertainty, on my side, a lot of financial uncertainty. But for me, the decision was, so I had my 9 to 5, there was LLB, and there's my weekend job. So I was tired.
Sure.
And being on the show just reminded me that this is why you went to go study.
Yeah.
This is why you want to go do this. This is why you want to do this, not my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Which in the end I just hated.
Yeah.
But for you, how was it, and how has it been thus far? Because there are days where you are busy, and there are days where you're just left alone with your thoughts.
Yeah.
And that can be scary.
Yeah. I was very scared. I was very scared to take the leap. But there was a part of me that just like delusionally believed that I would step outside of my 9 to 5 and everything would just happen for me. And I would book every single thing, and I would have schedule clashes, and I would need to be on this production and that production,
and
fly here and there, and need to be on stage and need to be, you know. And I think there's a huge like helping of delusion that you need to make your dreams come true. To step out in faith with no savings is hectic, you know. It has been hard. I don't even want to romanticize it, bro. Like, I don't even want to sprinkle things on it. I don't want to sugarcoat it. It's hard.
Yes.
It is tough.
It is.
And some days are great and you feel accomplished and you feel so good about the choice that you made to take the step and to take the leap. You feel so accomplished. You feel like this makes sense and this is exactly what I needed to do at this point in my life. And then there are days where you are like, did I F this up? Like, did I make a bad decision here? And I mean, thank goodness for me, like, I'm like, even if it was a bad decision, I know there's enough grace for it on the other side. Like, God is still good. Even in the midst of my bad decisions, you know, God still loves me. He still sees me. He will still hold me. His plans towards me are still greater, even when I make mistakes.
Yeah.
And I'm not that big and that cool to mess up my life. Like, you think you're really in control and you're writing the story, but you're really not. But yeah, there's nothing I believe in more than my inevitable success.
Yes.
My success is inevitable. I know that I will not be here forever. I know that I will be the actor that I intend to be, and I've always dreamt of being. It really just is a matter of when. It's hard, but it was the right decision, I think.
Okay. At that time, yes.
I think. Yeah. On most days, I believe it was the right decision. On other days, I'm not sure. But either way, His grace is sufficient.
Yes. Yes. Last question. What message do you hope or aim to convey through acting, and where do you hope your career will take you?
I really hope that a chubby girl who wants to be an actor can watch TV and look at the roles I play and say, oh, I don't have to play roles that have to do with my weight. Yeah. I don't have to be the butt of the joke. I don't have to be the receptionist, the shebeen queen, the loud mamkopozi. I don't have to play those stereotypes. I can be a 28-year-old girl about to get married and is dealing with her daddy issues. I can be a lawyer working in Sandton in a really great law firm, and she's trying to climb her way up the ranks, you know. I really, really want girls who look like me to know that it's possible. They are craftsmen.
Yeah.
They are talented. They are skilled, and they are not just the personality hire.
And see them being reflected in you.
100%. And what do I see for myself? I really want to be influential. I really want to be impactful. I just want to be impactful. I don't know what that looks like and how that plays out. But I want when I come across your screen, when you see me on social media, when you meet me, I just want you to remember me. I just want to be memorable.
I was here.
I was here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. This was so fun.
You know, I've been away from this for months now, and I know the channel doesn't have the greatest numbers, but for me, at least for now, it's not about that.
Yeah.
It's always about the connections, because for me, I think my greatest aspect of who I am is my curiosity, especially into people, and talking to people is always amazing for me, because people are stories.
Yeah.
And everyone has a story to tell in some way or form, whether it's good or bad. At the end of the day, you deserve to tell your story.
Amen.
That is why I do this. And talking to you just reminded me how I like talking to people.
You're really good at it.
Oh, thank you.
You're really good at it.
Thank
You really are. I don't ever lose your curiosity. I was also thinking about that as well in preparing for this day, as like, if there's anything I remember about you on set, you were always asking questions. You were always trying to chat. You were always like, if you have a moment.
Yeah.
Let's, you know.
Yeah.
And like, don't ever lose that. And I think like the more that you grow, the closer in proximity you get to like names that will change your life, like be even bolder.
Yeah.
Be even bolder.
Yeah.
Don't let any kind of imposter syndrome get in the way of you asking those questions. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
To us being stars.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
If you enjoyed watching this episode, I say thank you. Do share it with a friend or two, because it's amazing for you. It's amazing for me. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. This was Thuli Nduvane with me, Kapana Lekaufi on Creative Connect. Bye-bye.
Hi. Hi there, it's Thuli Nduvane. I just finished my sit-down chat with Kopano here on Creative Connect, and it was such an amazing time to reflect and chat and laugh, as it always is with Kopano. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.